you know how to make big problems smaller?
We're gonna finally talk about that on this episode of 5 Minutes with Dad.
Welcome to 5 Minutes with Dad, starring Pavlos and Angela Pavlidis, where you get to spend a few minutes with the smartest and coolest kids in the whole world, and their dad, too. And now, here are your hosts, Pavlos, Angela, and Nick Pavlidis.
Who's ready for
an
hey?
awesome episode, 5 Minutes with Dad!
Hey, what am I? What am I, Cat 3? Hold on. You know what Cat 3 is?
Who's ready for an awesome episode, 5 Minutes with Dad?
Me!
Bye.
Hey!
And we're
Oh,
back.
we're back. Good.
I need
Yes.
5 buttons of Pavlos' recording things.
That's
to make
right.
one thing.
Ange is
Who's
becoming
ready for an awesome
a
episode of 5 Minutes with
master
Dad?
dropper.
Okay, let me restart.
Who's ready for an awesome episode of 5 Minutes with Dad? Me! Bye. And we're back. Yeah.
All right. So we are recording what we started to record last week, and that is an episode all about making big problems smaller.
And
That's
then-
super important.
And then we switched it in the middle of the thing to caring about classmates and community.
Because Ange got a high five sticker. Right, Ange?
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we are going to talk about that. But first,
Who's ready for the resource of the week? Sandwich!
me.
Wait.
Oh.
I just.
Go ahead. And wow, that was quick. That's pretty involved there. Okay.
Wait, Dad, do you want to press
Press what?
me?
Nice.
Okay, so hold on.
Talk into the mic so people can hear you.
I'm going to press one button, and my dad's going to press the other. You can press
Okay.
that one.
All right.
Eat every snack. Oh,
Eat every snack. Ange.
Okay, restart.
Eat
every snack.
That's who wants to eat every snack?
And now.
There you go. Wow. Ange, that was pretty good. All right. So
The 5th time.
we got the resource of the week sandwich. Do you want to do the naka joke or the first joke of the week?
Hold on, say it again.
Do you want to do the knock joke?
Yeah.
All right. So I'll do the first joke of the week. Why couldn't the flower ride its bike?
I don't know. Why couldn't the flower ride its bike?
Because it lost its petals. Oh.
Petals.
Get it? Oh, hey. This is what I meant. Hey-o. And
Dad, basically what you just did was you did this,
yes.
and then you did this, like it's funny.
Yeah. Hey-o.
Crickets were fun.
All right. So, Ange, I'm going to see if you can guess a theme in the jokes this week, okay? So,
Okay.
you heard what I just did. Why couldn't the flower ride its bike? It lost its petals, okay? So now let's talk about the resource of the week. Ange wanted this resource of the week because she just got one on the phone that she uses, but it's a sparkly one.
Yeah, it's not the same one.
Yes, but we have created, and we've mentioned it before, a pop socket with the 5 Minutes with Dad guy on it that is sold on Amazon. So if you got a phone or a little tablet or something like that, and you want a new pop socket with the 5 Minutes with Dad logo to show off your awesome 5 Minutes with Dad loyalty and fandom, head on over to 5minuteswithdad.com.
.com/popsocket.
Pop socket. Yep.
Pop
socket. Blah, blah, blah. Pop socket. And so, yeah, that'll send you right over to Amazon to check it out. Now, Ange,
Yes.
you get to say the knock joke.
Knock.
Who's there?
Bad luck. Garden.
Garden who?
Garden the door. Like that is rude. Let me in.
Guarding the door like that is rude. Let me in.
I noticed.
Okay, what is the theme? Okay, first one is why couldn't the flower ride its bike?
Like it's the garden has flowers in it.
Yes,
Or
kind.
gardens.
You're getting close.
I don't know.
It is, so we're recording this on March 21st. What was yesterday?
It was March 20th.
And what was March 20th? It was the first day of spring. So we got spring themed. What?
Like when you asked, and what was March 20th? And I was like thinking in my head, it's a day.
It's a day. Yes, but what day? But what day was it?
It's warm today.
It was warm today. It was 60 something degrees today. Let's
66,
see.
I believe.
64 according to my watch, my fancy schmancy watch.
It was 55 yesterday, so.
Yay! What? You don't like that? Go ahead, press it. Press it. Press it. Oh. And just trying to find the right.
Why do you have
the
two
right
crickets?
Button. Because
07 cricket and 07.
Yes, because I want some crickets on the 5 Minutes with Dad side, and I want crickets on my other podcast side, my Get Paid to Write podcast side. So that way I can play cricket sometime on that show. Ooh, all right. So let's dig into the topic of the day.
What's this one?
Whoa, we're going back in time. We're going back in time. So,
But why do they have numbers next to them? Like
I
07?
I put those numbers so that way when I sort them by name in the folders on my computer, that they sort in the order I want instead of alphabetical. So I put numbers at the front of them. So.
Okay.
All right. So Ange, let's talk about
That was probably
making.
the fastest time we've ever done the resource.
Yes. So let's talk about making big problems smaller. Ange, do you want to introduce this topic? What do they teach you about that in school? What do they say? So there are these 5 challenges that they say to live by, right?
Last.
This is the 5th one that they teach. Okay.
No, I think this is the last one out of the podcast already.
I don't know. We'll have to look. I don't remember.
I think we still have one more to go though.
Yeah. So, all right, talk right into the mic and tell everybody in school what they teach you about big problems and making them smaller. Uh-oh. Ange's mic.
It got unattached.
Hang on.
Hold on.
Ange's mic is getting unattached. All right, here we go. All right, just don't lift it up though, okay?
Okay, that's better.
There we go. All right, we're back, even though we didn't go anywhere, but we'll just do that.
And we're back.
We're back. Yeah. All right. So Ange, talk about that. Big problem, smaller.
Big problem.
Making big problems smaller. Just like that. We had a big problem. Ange's mic was on the loose. And we made it smaller by patiently getting it back in order while we vamped, as they say in the radio world. Vamping. That means, hey, buy some time. So, Ange, all right, talk about making big problems smaller.
So here's an example of it.
Okay.
So if someone got hurt or tripped or something, and they're really hurt, someone could tell the teacher, and maybe they could go to the nurse and see if see something.
And have the nurse help them out. Sure.
Yeah.
Now, what about if 2 kids are not getting along?
Then probably the teachers could see, and the teachers would come over and just tell them to stop it.
Yeah. So, but how could you say you are upset with a classmate? I know you get along with your classmates, but let's just say you're upset with your classmates. If you wanted to make that big problem smaller because you were arguing with them, what could you do?
Just stop.
Yeah, you could stop and just calm.
Or don't even
stay
start
calm. Yeah, that's preventing a big problem from starting in the first place, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So making a big problem smaller can happen in a whole bunch of cases. So it can happen with something that you're not involved in. So, for example, if someone's getting in trouble or hurt, you can go get help, right? So that's a big problem that you are able to make smaller because you get help.
Wait, which one's mine?
Yours, mic number 1, but you'll still get heard in my mic because my mic's yes. And you can still get heard. Talk right now.
Always mic number 1.
Yeah, you still get.
This is always mic number 2.
That's right. So, but you're still muted, Ange. So,
Yeah.
but you could they'll still hear you a little bit in my mic because my mic is the kind that picks up noise from all around the room. Your mic is the kind that you need to talk right into.
I think I used to use that.
Yes, your mic is actually the fancier one.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. Then I was using this one.
So, sometimes there are big problems, and big problems don't need to be ginormous. If there's just a problem and you make it smaller, that means it was bigger to begin with, right?
Yeah.
So let's say that you are somewhere and let's say you're in school and someone knocks over a whole bunch of pencils. You could make that a smaller problem by helping pick it up, right?
By just picking it up.
That's right. And let's say someone's upset.
But that already started off as a small problem.
That's right. And it just got even smaller. In fact, you can make small problems disappear altogether easily, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If like that happened and you pick up the pencils, then it's basically not there anymore.
Yeah, no more problems.
Yeah.
So, Ange, I don't want to, I remember, we're not going to say any names or anything about teacher names or anything like that or school or anything like that. But can you think of an example of something? Maybe nobody even noticed it. Maybe it was something you did, or maybe it was something that, you observed someone else doing. That's a good example of making any problem smaller. Can you think of something? While you think of that,
there wasn't a lot of problems that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
In the school.
So what about when there were not any pencils for students in the back of your classroom?
Then someone could just put more in.
Yeah. Isn't that what you got a high five sticker for?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So it was kind of both.
It was kind of both because there was a problem, and I don't love the word problem, but that's what the rule is called. There was a challenge, there was an issue, there was something going on that you made better. So
And it was also like helping
classmates and community by bringing them in.
or just classmates
Yeah.
and community.
Yeah.
Just the classmates
Classmates are part of the community, right?
Classroom is also a community.
Yeah.
I was trying to say classroom, but I kept saying classmates.
Yes. Yeah. So your classroom is a community of kids, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And now you are going, so right now you go 2 days a week and then you have 3 days off, right? Or 3 days of virtual, right?
And I can't wait till April 5th.
April 5th, you go back full time in school. How cool is that?
And I think Pavlos goes back on the 27th?
28th. Yep.
28th.
I just made a weird noise with my mouth. I wonder if did you hear that?
Yes.
I don't know what it was. I was like, I don't know what it was. I was like, oh, old man. Remember Papa used to go, howdy. That was weird. Well, I'm going to leave that in though. Why? Because we are not perfect. You remember what we said last time? Nobody's nerfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's nerfect. It's hard to say nobody's perfect wrong, isn't it? Nobody's nerfect. Hey, Jinx. Jinx, show me a water. So, Ange, making big problems smaller does not require a big solution, does it? It can require even a little small gesture. That's right. So, Ange, so now that I mentioned something,
Okay.
can you think of another example of someone who made a big problem smaller?
There wasn't a lot of big problems, so I might have to make one up.
How about this? Have you ever seen somebody with their hands full walking up to a door and trying to think, how am I going to open this door without dropping everything in my hands?
Probably.
Yeah. And what's one way you could make that problem smaller?
Help them.
That's right. Ooh, I have a good example from today. So I was at the grocery store today. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I was getting to my car, I noticed an older gentleman getting in his car. but he was struggling to get into his car. He was parked in a handicapped parking spot, and his legs weren't working very well. In fact, I have no idea. I didn't notice him walking to the car from the grocery store. He had 2 bags of groceries in his shopping cart, and he was holding onto his shopping cart, trying to and holding onto his car, trying to hold himself up. So I have no idea because he looked like he was really, really having a hard time standing up. I have no idea how he made it all the way through the grocery store in grocery shopping. Maybe he sat down but it was a regular push shopping cart. It wasn't one of the types of shopping carts that you sit in and drive around.
Maybe someone else helped him that was already in the car.
No, there was no one else in his car. So I don't know. He was really, really struggling. So I was loading my car, and I was not directly in front of him, but I was diagonal from him. And I didn't know. Sometimes if you, especially now with everyone wearing masks and everything, a lot of times people want to keep distance from each other. I had a mask on, and he had a mask on, and I walked over to him and I said, "Excuse me, sir, is it okay if I help you?" And he looked at me, and he was very, very happy. Some people will say, "No, I'm okay." And, so you want to make sure that some people, they don't need help. They don't want help. And they're doing just fine. So I said, "Excuse me, sir, is it okay if I help you?" And he said, "I would appreciate that. Thank you." So I held his car door open, and I held his shopping cart so it wouldn't roll away, because it was rolling away when he was trying to balance on it. That's why I said, I have no idea how he got around the store. He must have been in there for a long time. I don't know. It must have been really hard for him. So he got into he put his groceries onto his seat where he was going to go for the parking, the driver's seat. And then he balanced himself over, and he got next to next to his seat. And then he picked up the bags and put them further in his car on the passenger seat, sat down, scooched his way over. He had to lift his legs up to get them in the car. So his legs really were not strong. He was really struggling. And then I said, "Don't worry." I said, "Whatever you need to do, go ahead. Would you like me to put the groceries in the car?" He said, "No, I can do that." I said, "Okay, I'll take your cart and I'll put it back in the cart place where everyone, when you're done using the cart." And he got in, he closed the door. He said some very nice things, and including thank you. And then he closed the door, and I went and I brought his shopping cart back to the store for him. And then I went back to my car and I finished emptying my carts. Now that could be helping your community, right? Community members, but it's also making a bigger problem smaller. The gentleman was having a hard time getting into his car because he was holding onto his shopping cart, and the wheels were moving the shopping cart around. So his problem was that what he was using for at least some of his balance was rolling away from him. That's got to be pretty hard, don't you think? Mm-hmm. And all I did was I held the door open and I held the cart so it wouldn't roll away, and he was able to get in the car all on his own. So that's a way to make a big problem smaller, even though it wasn't a big problem, but he was struggling. He got in his car. He was very happy. And all I had to do, I didn't have to do anything complicated, did I? I just asked him if it was okay if I helped him. And then when he said yes, I held the cart so it wouldn't roll away. Can you hold a cart so it doesn't roll away, Ange? Ange, this is an audio podcast. No one can see you nodding your head. Yeah. Yes, you can. Can Pavlos?
Yeah.
Can Mom?
Yeah.
Can Superman?
Yeah.
Can... Who else we got? Can Yaya? What? And
The next person.
then whoever the next person was going to be was getting the buzzer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she already had moved over. I didn't know you were going to do the buzzer, Ange. So here, let's go back to Yaya. Can Yaya?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can Dad? So, Ange, making a big problem smaller is sometimes just seeing something and saying, wow, I can help with that. So sometimes it's making something better, and sometimes it's avoiding something that's not That's not good. So if it's an argument and you can just pause, like you said, if you're arguing with a friend or you're upset with someone, you can just stay calm and not argue and not fight, then that makes a potential big problem smaller. Sometimes it is like seeing some empty pencils in the back of the room and adding some pencils to it. Sometimes it's seeing someone struggling and asking if you can help them and if they want, and being helpful to people. It is super simple when you see something. You don't need to make everything disappear. You don't need to be a superhero. You don't need to have any special powers or be super strong. You just need to be helpful, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Ange. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Ange. All right. I think that's good. What do you think? You think that's good for today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the shortest one we've ever made.
We haven't, oh my goodness, usually we're close to a half an hour. But Ange, it's the first day of spring or the second day of spring. I don't know, depending on how you count.
7.5.
7.5. And actually it's going to drop the day after spring. So happy spring, everybody. Spring has sprung. The sun is shining. It is staying bright out, even though we keep our sunshine where, Ange? On the inside.
And
But
that's why I gave you the sun thingies.
the sun, yes, that's why we got. So Ange got these squishies. We used them as a resource of the week. I don't know, maybe a couple months
I
ago.
think for Valentine's Day.
It's like 5minuteswithdad.com/squishies, I think. And they come in all sorts of different faces and shapes. And two of them were suns. And Ange was picking out which one she was going to give to. Oh yeah, it was around Valentine's Day. You're right. To people in her class for Valentine's Day.
The week before Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So if you listen back to that, you will hear that she found two suns in there and she gave them to me because she said, Dad, this reminds me of you because you always say that you keep your sunshine on the inside.
So if you, this is what I said, and I also said this when we were having the resource of the week one.
Yep.
You keep your what on the inside.
Oh, that's right. You was like, Dad, I got one from you, and you didn't show me what it was. You were like, you keep your what on the inside?
And when he said sunshine, I was hiding the one sunshine because I didn't have the other one yet.
Yep.
Dad,
Yeah.
you keep your what on the inside?
I keep my sunshine on the inside. And she was like,
Okay.
whoops.
Hold on. 3, 2, 1. You keep your
Sunshine, whoops, on the inside. Yeah. Woohoo. I was so happy. I love when Ange, sometimes as parents, you never really know what's going to stick with your kids. So it's really, really cool when Ange thinks of me.
I gave him a yellow and a silver. Sparkly.
Blue, right? Yellow and blue.
One sparkly is the blue.
Yeah.
Which is the sparkly.
Yeah.
I think I just said that.
Oh, and yes.
And the other one was the non-sparkly one, which was the yellow one, and they both had faces that faded.
They faded because I hold them all the time.
And you squished them together.
And I squished them together, and then you gave me the big squishy. What was that, a little chihuahua or something like that?
Chihuahua.
It's like a
What
little
was
dog.
Cookie.
It's a what?
Cookie.
No. The big giant thing.
Oh yeah, it's a chihuahua.
Chihuahua. Yeah, and I use that all the time. I'm on Zoom calls at work, and I'm like playing with the big chihuahua, and people are like,
My
"What's
cat-
that?" And I said,
cat
"Oh."
broke.
So, all right, here we are. Boom, 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 boom. What were we talking about?
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
The-
Yeah,
keep
no,
your
it was
sunshine
the
on
springtime, and the sun is staying out later, and the weather's getting warmer.
And
So now we'll have sunshine on the inside and on the outside, right?
And
Mind.
the time change
blown.
was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Ange, we're going to have some fun. And Ange, remember I told you, we have to think of something that, I know we have the podcast, but I said the same thing to your brother. As the weather gets warm, we got to think of something for us to do. Just daddy, daughter. What?
We can go somewhere.
Yeah, we can go somewhere. I told Pavlos, one of the ideas that Pavlos and I have is once a week to find a different pizza place and have Pavlos go on a pizza tour of Massachusetts and try to find his favorite pizza because he likes slices of pizza, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
His favorite is Greek pizza, I believe.
yeah. And then maybe Ange, you can think of something and we can go out once a week, the two of us, and it can be anything. We can play softball. I still want to do daddy-daughter gymnastics, but Ange doesn't want to do that with me. Right, Ange?
Yeah.
So Ange, you and I can do something just as a way for us to have just special one-on-one time just once a week. What? We can learn something together. What'd you say? We do that already, and I love that. It's my cherished special time every week. And you basically took over and kicked Pavlos out, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't mind. He likes doing it from time to time, but he doesn't care.
He does it sometimes. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's like playing with his friend on what he's playing.
Yeah. So he plays with his friends and Ange. And whenever Pavlos wants to earn some extra money, he says, "Oh, Dad, mind if I record some podcasts?"
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's why there's a few ones.
That's why
in a
you'll
while.
see Pavlos there because Pavlos will want some money, and he knows he gets paid $10 per episode, and 4 goes to spending. 2 goes to
Investing.
2 goes to
Giving.
2 goes to saving.
Saving.
Yeah. When you don't say them in the same order, it messes you up a little
Saving,
bit.
spending, investing.
Yeah, giving, saving, spending, investing. If you do it,
But sometimes I put most of my, sometimes I don't really care about the spending money and I just put in the giving money
yeah.
because we give it to an animal shelter.
Yes. Maybe we'll have to go back up and check out that animal shelter in person again and see how they're doing. What do you think?
Yeah.
And we can report back on a future episode of 5 Minutes with Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So,
Wait, what?
what? Whoa.
Oh, it's been 6 minutes since we said we were gonna end it.
OMG. All right, let's end it. Let's end it there. Happy spring. Don't forget to look for some problems that you can make smaller, even itsy bitsy problems. You can press it. And everybody, thank you for listening to 5 Minutes with Dad.
Thank you for listening to 5 Minutes with Dad. To connect with Pavlos, Angela, and Nick, subscribe to the 5 Minutes with Dad newsletter at 5minuteswithdad.com.
Thank you for listening.
5 minutes with Dad.